It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on a really strange morning here we're out at sea. This is a sea day on board the MSC Seashore. I have been literally all over the ship trying to find the spot where I had a signal. Every place that I've done streams from before for the last couple, since I've been on the ship, I couldn't. It just kept spinning, turning around in circles. Have no idea why. So I came back up to my silly cabin, and boom, right away I'm back online. So I don't know what's going. So it might be just a really funky signal today. So if I break up and go out, you'll know why. The other thing, I have not heard from Nanook of the North John this morning. They were supposed to have like 60 below zero wind chills all night last night, and blizzard, and just a whole mess. So I haven't heard from him today yet. So I hope he's all right. But he's been doing my backup for all this. And who knows, he might pop into the chat room while I'm running my mouth. But anyway, folks, welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on February 3rd, 2022. I'm on location out in the middle of the ocean on MSC Seashore. Today, folks, is National Carrot Cake Day. Now, that's one thing. Yesterday I couldn't go find what they had. So but today, I'm pretty sure there'll be some carrot cake someplace on this boat. So I'll be able to celebrate that one with you. But anyway, go to your favorite hangout that has good carrot cake and have a slice today. National Carrot Cake Day. All right, cruise ship sailing from North American ports down to Port Canaveral, the MSC Meraviglia. We're going to be talking about that here in a few minutes. Mariner of the Seas. West Palm Beach, the Grand Classica gets underway. Of course, that's going to soon be the Margaritaville paradise. My mind went blank there. Sharon just did the little two-nighter on that. I got to get a good report from her on that. What she thought about it. If she had any problems, were they all good? So I'm going to have to ask Sharon about that. I have not gotten a report yet on the Grand Classica. Down at Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades, Celebrity Millennium gets underway. In Miami, Carnival Sunrise, Azamara Quest, Seven Seas Splendor, all sail. New Orleans, the Carnival Valor, and out in San Pedro, Los Angeles, the Grand Princess gets underway. Headlines today, which we're going to get to in a little while. Diamond Princess cancels 10 cruises. Royal Caribbean updates protocols. Well, sort of. Norwegian fully operational by May. MSC extends Arabian Gulf season. Costa to host the San Remo Festival. New Zealand to gradually reopen the borders, finally. And a whole lot more this morning live at 11 o'clock. And as always, folks, if you're listening to this via the podcast, you can always access that on my accessible blog, which is accessadventure.net. And each day's podcast will be linked there, so you can grab it and go listen if you need to. You can also find the podcast anywhere where you get your other podcasts from, like TuneIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora, Stitcher, Podchaser, iHeartRadio, all the majors. All you have to do is search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and you'll get the old fat travel guy. Because I am posting some pictures and clips of various things that's going on my cruise. If you're listening via the podcast, you might want to check in the description, grab the link, which will take you to the video side, so you can check out the clips and pictures especially days when I have more than others. So today was a little bit on the short news day side, so I'm going to catch up on some loose ends from the seashore. And yesterday, I had just an awesome day in Cozumel. Visited Alma and the crew at Elizabeth's on Location's now famous NoNameBar. I'll tell you about more about Cozumel and the NoNameBar after this word from one of our network sponsors. All right, back at it, folks. So yesterday I went to the NoNameBar. That is Elizabeth's favorite hangout when she was in Cozumel. Of course, she's on the Meraviglia now. As a matter of fact, we'll talk about that a little bit further. But anyway, yesterday I was here. How's that for a welcome to Cozumel from the folks at the NoNameBar? Had a delightful time. And of course, one of the things that we did, Alma and I sent Elizabeth a message. All right, I'm here at the NoNameBar, and that's Alma. Elizabeth, we wish you were here. Glad you're going to get out of COVID jail tomorrow. We love you. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Love you.
See ya. Thanks. That's just a quick scan of the NoNameBar from where I was sitting. Of course, the NoNameBar is right there adjacent to the Barracuda Hotel in Cozumel. And it's a crew hangout. A lot of guys, when they get off the ship, they get a break when they're in Cozumel, they head for the NoNameBar. So you'd love to have crew members there from any number of ships. Yesterday was a little bit unusual a day because we had to dock like 3 miles south of town at the dock because there was a Disney ship and a celebrity ship at the dock up closest to the NoNameBar. I would have been able to easily ride the scooter from that dock over to No Name. But from 3 miles away, not knowing the terrain and the accessibility and so forth, I wasn't going to take a chance. So I had to get a van with a lift. And you know me with my nerves, getting my big fat butt lifted up, stuffed in the back end of a van, and then back out and down again. And then they drop me off outside the NoNameBar and outside the Barracuda Hotel. And I set a time for him to come back, so I wasn't sure not to miss him. So I actually got out there on the street a little bit early and sat waiting for him, and rode the van back to the port, to the pier, and it was just a delightful time. I'll be back there again next week, and hopefully it'll be be parked over closer. The closer pier to No Name, and I'm going to go over there and maybe spend some time interviewing some of the crew guys that are there. But it's a great spot. And yes, folks, I did have an adult beverage while I was there, which, me, I'm not going to do anything radical like that. That's just my normal bourbon and Diet Coke. However, this is what the regular drinks look like. They must have like 7 shots of booze in it. I did not have one of those, folks. If I had one of those, I probably not only wouldn't have found my taxi to get back, I may not have found the ship. But then I got back to the pier, and this is getting back toward the seashore. And that's, 4 big ships down there. All, us, Carnival Conquest, Symphony of the Seas, Adventure of the Seas. So it was a big day in Cozumel yesterday, but I had a great day. This morning I discovered something that I had missed out completely on the ship. Some of you laughed at me over going across the Infinity Bridge the other night, and that I had a little bit of nerves doing it, which I did. And the Infinity Bridge, that's down a decade. I mean, that's pretty low considering. I did discover the Sky Bar and the Bridge of Sighs. Wow, how did I miss this, guys? This is the Sky Bar on deck 16. And somehow I totally missed out on this one. I'm surprised that I would miss a bar. And here's the Bridge of Sighs. Johnny Quinlan asked me if I'd seen that yet, so I'll do that in a second. Ooh, wow. This is strange. Okay, this obviously is the wake of the boat over the rails. And this, folks, is the Bridge of Sighs. I did the lower one, so let's do the higher one. Here we go. Oh my God. Is that scary? Okay, guys. Wow. I have just done the Bridge of Sighs. That's enough for today. Later, everybody. As you can tell, it's windy out there today. It's blowing pretty good at all the outdoor decks. Maybe that's why I couldn't get any Wi-Fi on the boats, because of the wind. So, and then did teppanyaki last night. That's going to take a whole video, because that was just an awesome experience. So, now, before I continue on with today's show, I do have this breaking news from Elizabeth on location.
Hey, Chillie and the gang. I am free. Yes, I am. What many of you may not know is that, well, a lot of you on Chillie's channel, I've been locked up in COVID jail. However, I finally passed. I am negative, and I am heading to the ship in a couple of hours. We had to get up at 5 a.m. and get tested at 6. And now we're all heading back. So some people probably aren't so excited to get back to work as I am. But like I said, it's been actually now 23 months. Now, yes, I did go work in Bermuda for a month. And yes, I went on the Iona for a month and all that. But this is the real deal. And so I'm so excited. And I have to tell you that MSC has taken the best care of us. This is my first time working for MSC in my 30 years at sea. And so it's pretty cool, man. They totally looked after us. We had a person who called us every single day and just to check in on us. How you feeling? How you doing? We also had a nurse who came by every couple of days. And because some people were actually really sick. For those of you who know, I tested positive after getting on board the ship, after I was already in quarantine for a week. Maybe it was a false positive. I don't know. I had absolutely no symptoms whatsoever. I've never had an elevated temperature. I've never had congestion. I never had a headache. I never felt bad at all. And so it's been kind of weird sitting around. I've been 20 days in complete isolation. So yeah, man, I'm ready to get out and talk to people. So it's really exciting. And anyway, this will be my first time really back at doing what I love to do. So today is turnaround day. We are only about 10 minutes from the ship, so going over to the Meraviglia, and tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. I'll walk up on stage, and it will be my first port presentation since March of 2020. Wow. I'm just so excited. I hope I don't cry when I'm on stage, but if I do, it's tears of joy. I hope I have an audience tomorrow. So I have a presentation at 9:30 tomorrow morning, and then we arrive in Nassau at noon. And hot air Tom, listen, I don't talk about stores like other people do. I know a lot of you guys have been on ships and you've seen port shopping lectures and all that. It's not my style. I love to tell everybody about what to do, what to see, how to get around, and how to save some money. And you know what? I will tell Chillie a little more information because Jason asked me as well what that medallion thing was about, with Princess being able to use your medallion ashore in port. You don't want to do that, and I will tell you why. I'm not going to clutter up this talk now about all of that, but I'll give you all the info. I'll give you the lowdown, I'll give you the info. And again, it's just an exciting day for me because I get to go back to work. Never thought I'd be that excited to go back to work, but I have the best job at sea and I'm just super excited. So I'll be in Nassau tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be in Nassau. Then we have Ocean Key. I won't be able to get off the ship because we don't have crew shore leave. Back to Port Canaveral. Again, no crew shore leave there. I don't care, man. I'll just be walking around the ship. And then the following cruise, we go to Costa Maya and Cozumel. So anyway, you'll see some videos, I'm sure, on location. I'll try to do one when I get to Nassau. And again, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go back finally, to get back to doing what I love. And I hope to see a lot of you out there. And Chillie, I can't wait. It'll be about a month from now. I'll actually get to cruise with the famous Chillie Cruises. Chillie and Eli cruising together. I can't wait. So anyway, I look forward to seeing everybody. I've waffled on enough already, and see you all soon. Ciao for now.
And of course, we're just super excited that Elizabeth is back on a boat. Or she's not there now. She'll be there in the next few minutes. So, and by the way, folks, to be perfectly transparent about everything, I have found something that I didn't like about the MSC Seashore. One thing. And as a true Southerner, I feel I am most compelled to report on this one, that this European ship doesn't have a clue how to make biscuits and gravy for breakfast. I was on the buffet this morning. It was awful. I mean, the rest of the breakfast was fine, but these folks don't know how to make biscuits, and they sure as hell don't know how to make gravy. First thing I found that I didn't like about this ship. So I did have a couple people ask me about smoking. I mean, I don't anymore, thank heavens. But there are two areas on this ship where you are allowed to smoke. On the deck 8, adjacent to the infinity bar, and on deck 18, adjacent to the Long Island bar. I was up on 18 this morning. That was one of the places I was looking to stream from, and it was so windy, I knew I wouldn't be able to hear anything. So, and teppanyaki, that's to come, folks. All right, got to get to some few news stories this morning. Princess Cruise Lines has made a very difficult decision to cancel Japanese sailings aboard the Diamond Princess from April 28th through June the 9th. Guests affected by this further suspension are being offered 3 options for compensation. and yada, yada, yada. That's pretty much normal when these things get canceled anymore. The affected itineraries range from 5 to 14 days, include Golden Week sailing, Korea and Japan getaway itineraries, and Southern Islands voyages. Because of the ship's visibility in the early days of the pandemic, and that was bad news back in those days, it's no surprise the Japanese authorities are choosing to be very cautious before welcoming cruise travel back to the region. Princess Cruises is cooperating fully with the local authorities and implementing rigorous onboard protocols to ensure the health and safety of the passengers, crew, and port communities. But because of the politics, as much as anything in that area, they're backing it up and will not start now until June the 9th. Royal Caribbean International has updated the health and safety protocols for sailings from the United States, Barbados, and Puerto Rico. The guidelines, which have been developed in partnership with the company's Healthy Sail Panel, will be in place through April the 14th. The cruise line has made almost no changes to the protocols already in place. Therefore, testing mandates before the cruise, vaccination requirements, and mask use on the ship, they haven't changed anything. Those are the important things, right? So, in fact, they really didn't update anything. I mean, it's just a continuation of what it's been for the most part. They did announce that they're looking at possible changes. Now, possible changes are considered updates. They haven't changed it yet. They might change the booster requirements. Well, I got no problem if they do that. I mean, I'm a booster, and I recommend all of you to get boosted. Possibly pre-cruise testing is going to change. Lowered vaccination ages, but none of them have been made yet. So, I mean, I'm not sure why they put the press release out about updating the protocols other than to fill space and the media, because they didn't really do anything. So, but now I've reported that it's updated. Norwegian Cruise Line announced it will be fully operational by May and will be expanding operational activity worldwide in the next 3 months. Now, remember, Norwegian has backed off on a bunch of ships and canceled a bunch of cruises just in the last 6 weeks or so, even though they didn't claim because of Omicron, but it was because of Omicron. The cruise line intends to start cruises in various countries, including Italy, Spain, Panama, Tahiti, and other places in the United States. After all the recent delays are restarted, Pride of America, which one of them has been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back time and time again, Pride of America is finally going to set sail in April. The final two that will signify they're back 100% will be the Sun and the Spirit, and they get underway in early May. So by early May, unless the world comes to an end, Norwegian will be fully operational. MSC Cruises announced the extension of the cruise season in the Arabian Gulf through June 25th with the cruise ship MSC Bellissima. The cruise line will offer additional 7-night cruises with stops in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Surbanias in the United Arab Emirates and Doha in Qatar. On March 26th, the Bellissima will finalize scheduled Red Sea itineraries between Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and move to the Arabian Gulf, replacing the Costa on April the 2nd. I had an interesting discussion with the teppanyaki chef last night. He has been on both the Bellissima and the Virtuoso, and also on Seaside and now on Seashore. Interesting gentleman. MSC Virtuoso has been sailing in the region since November of 2021. And after the end of the winter, it will return to Europe to home port in Southampton, England for the summer season. In July, MSC Bellissima will sail to the Far East to offer itineraries in Japan, assuming Japan gets back operational. The Arabian Gulf region has proven particularly attractive to MSC Cruises passengers this winter, thanks to the exciting itinerary, which includes additional ports and 2 nights in Dubai. In addition, the effectiveness of the health and hygiene protocols established both by the company and by the local authorities for entry and stay into the region have made passengers feel safe. So it seems like they've gotten over the couple little blips on the radar that they've had. And as I have said numerous times, folks, I have felt 100% safe on board this ship. Not even a hint of a question of a problem to me. I even felt safe in Cozumel yesterday. Cozumel, everybody masked unless you're eating or drinking, indoors and out. So I was not at all uncomfortable being out in the public yesterday. So, but that's me. Costa Cruises' new flagship is hosting this year's 72nd edition of the popular San Remo Festival. The ship will anchor off the coast of San Remo until February 6th and is the first floating stage in the festival's history. The most popular Italian song contest for the first time is hosted at sea thanks to the collaboration between Costa Cruises and Repubblica. Costa Toscana, the new green ship of the Italian cruise line, will be a floating stage with live shows presented by the host stars Orietta Berti and Fabio Ravazzi, with exceptional Italian artists who perform each evening on the stage in the ship's theaters. We always like to end on some good news. For some good news, finally, out of this area, officials in New Zealand confirmed just a few hours ago now, it's early this morning here, that the country will begin to reopen its borders in coming weeks. However, the process is not expected to be completed until October. So when they say they're gradually reopening, they're doing it turtle speed, really slowly. Earlier plans to reopen the country were shelved as the Omicron variant spread around the world. Borders have been closed apart from a short-lived travel bubble with Australia for nearly 2 years in response to the pandemic. The border will initially open to vaccinated New Zealand citizens and visa holders coming from Australia, then from the rest of the world, and finally to all other vaccinated visitors. Travelers will still have to self-isolate at home for 10 days, but will no longer have to pass through space-limited managed isolation facilities known as MIQ. Fully vaccinated New Zealanders and other eligible travelers from Australia will be able to enter New Zealand without staying in MIQ from February 27th on. 2 weeks later, they could come from all other countries. Critical workers and skilled workers will be eligible to enter New Zealand from that date forward. So, good news for the New Zealanders down under. Now, maybe Australia will get their butt in gear as well. All right, that's it for the news today, folks. Not a whole lot of news, which is a good thing. All right, let's see who's in the chat room. By the way, I'll probably do a live stream this evening, maybe, since I did one pretty late the other night and it cut, all my European guys were already asleep by the time the stream came on. Maybe I'll do a live stream tonight about, 5 o'clock my time. So that would be 5, that'd be 11 o'clock. 10 o'clock GMT. That wouldn't be too awful bad. So let's shoot for a live stream at 5 o'clock. See if there's anything going on that I missed. Maybe be at the hot tub. I don't know. I didn't have too long being in a hot tub this morning, so I have to play that by ear too. But let's shoot for 5 o'clock tonight for a live stream. Feel free to join us if you want to come in and chat and ask any questions or make any comments or talk about Hot Air Tom sex bombers that he keeps sending to this channel. I'm teasing, of course. Jack's with us from Conroe, Texas. 37 degrees. What the hell happened to your weather, Jack? Holy God, that's 30 degrees down. Carol's with us. Hi, Carol. Cindy's here. Amy's with us. Michael Gale, greetings from snowy Greenwood, Indianapolis, Indiana. First-time watcher. Hey, welcome aboard, Michael. We do this every day. Travel and Cruise Industry News at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're in Indiana, so that's Central Time, so that's 10 a.m. your time, I guess. And we have some fun. I mean, I'm out on a cruise now. This is second of 3 back-to-back-to-backs that I'm doing. But I'll try to get a live stream going this evening, just from somewhere on the ship. But feel free, Michael, to join in the chat with you'll see these guys will carry on a conversation throughout the whole show. Jason's with us. The title card says you're still at NoNameBar. No, I didn't say I was at NoNameBar. I said NoNameBar because I wanted to promote it a little further for Alma and all of her gang there next to the Barracuda Hotel. Because if you're ever in Cozumel and want a nice little locals place to go, they're fabulous people. It's a nice little place. It's nothing fancy. It's a nice locals place, and I thoroughly loved it. So, but no, I'm not at the bar, Jason. I'm back on the boat out in the middle of the ocean. Gretchen's here out in Ohio. Hi, everybody. 26 degrees. Expecting a foot of snow by tomorrow. God bless you, Gretchen. Make sure you get out your fur-lined undergotchis to go out and roll in the snow. Nikki's with us. Nikki's on her way to Los Angeles from the South Pacific. Yum carrot cake. Yeah, I know. I agree with that one. You know, big fat guys like me, how can you not like carrot cake? February 13th on Divina. So the 13th. I'll pass you. I'll be getting off as you're getting on. That's too bad. But yes, I'll have reports all next week from the Divina. I'll have something about every day on the Divina. So stay tuned, Michael. You'll get a lot of information before you get on the ship, so you'll feel right at home when you walk in the door. Nikki says, "Brr, do Gretchen, I agree." Ice storm on the way here at Pittsburgh. I'm not surprised at that one. Man, I tell you what, I'm sure glad that I'm missing all this weather. Holy cow. I mean, we had a little in Virginia, and then I escaped before the next round came in, and now they've had another round. So I'm glad I'm down here, even though we had some pitiful weather for the first, the Freedom of the Seas. The first 2 days of that was awful. Then the first 3 days of this cruise was awful, and my day in Miami was awful, but weather-wise. But yeah, we've had nice weather the last couple of days. So it's nice today. Only it's windy. It's warm. Air temperature is like 79 this morning, but it's breezy at all the outside decks and noisy breeze too. Gretchen's fussing about her AutoConnect. I sometimes wonder if AutoConnect is worth it. I guess it's all done screw with me too. Michael says 5 inches right now, going for 8 to 10 out in Indianapolis. Nothing like icy sheets in hilly Pittsburgh. And that's the truth. I remember many a time when I was up there sliding around on those hills. Good heavens. Yeah, it can be pretty nasty driving around Pittsburgh in bad weather. Jack says hello to Michael, a former fellow Hoosier, now a Texan. Jack's from Indiana as well, as is my niece was born in Indiana. My sister lived out there for a long time, 10 years or so. Jason says, what was wrong with the biscuits and gravy, big fat travel guy? It sucked. The biscuits were kind of flaky, falling apart, and almost no taste to the biscuits. I mean, they were sort of, if it tasted like anything, it was a biscuit moving toward a croissant taste. But it was flaky, not even close to the right consistency. And the gravy had no flavor whatsoever. It was like paste. No spices, no, just nothing. It was terrible. I'll never do that again on an MSC ship, and that's literally that's the first thing I've had that was even questionable as far as I was concerned. And it was, I mean, the rest of my breakfast was fine. I have a big breakfast anyway. Teppanyaki last night was an experience, not only from the entertainment value, because they put on a show, but man, the food was good. I still have mixed feelings about specialty restaurants and the way they try to pound you for more money when you're already paying an exorbitant price for the meal to start with. So I'm still not a big fan, but I certainly can't complain about the food and the quality of the food that I had in the two big specialty restaurants I did on this ship. The steakhouse and teppanyaki, which was a 2-package deal for like $100 or something. I did do an add-on last night to add lobster and something else, lobster and maybe scallops, added into the whole teppanyaki thing package with the steak and the rice and the show and the sushi, sashimi. But I mean, it was awesome. But anyway, yeah, it's expensive. Now, what you got to do, folks, before you decide on this, and again, I'm an old-fashioned cruiser, guys. There wasn't anything such thing as a specialty restaurant when I started. And I started cruising, and I didn't have money to do anything extra. I was counting pennies to go get on a boat. So I loved cruising from the get-go, from what you got for free and what was included, which is why still to this day, I have no problems at all with main dining rooms. My meals in main dining rooms are generally always very good, and I'm very happy with that. I usually don't eat in buffets except for breakfast. I've eaten buffets a couple meals, and it's been okay. But to decide to do a specialty dining, number one, you got to be able to afford it. You got to be able to spend, let's say, an extra $50 over and above whatever else you spent on the cruise, but $50, let's say, or more, to do a specialty restaurant. And then they're going to try to add on to beat you to death for more money. They're going to try to take you from, I had a 14-ounce steak, I think it was, a 14-ounce sirloin. And I could have spent an extra $30-$40 and gone up to a 24-ounce. I don't know, something ridiculous. I had trouble finishing the 14. Next, I've got that included on Divina next week as well, the steakhouse. I'm just going to have the filet. I'm not going to even go to the 14-ounce sirloin. Just give me the filet and I'll be happy. with all the extras that come with it. But you got to decide, number one, if you can afford it. Because if you're a bargain cruiser, don't even think about it. Then you got to determine if it's worth it. And I'm telling you right up front, the food was excellent, but you got to put up with the hassle of them trying to upgrade you. And you got to decide if the expenditure of that money can be better spent elsewhere, or if that's where you want to spend it. If you got all the money in the world and you want a super fine meal, then do specialties all the time, because the quality of the food is outstanding. Would I do specialty restaurants if it wasn't for this show and my audience and providing information, my thoughts about those kind of things to you guys? I'm not sure I'd spend the extra money, but I did. Now, I'm not sorry that I did, because I had 2 nice meals. And, now I'm at the point where I'm not counting pennies like I did 40 years ago when I started cruising. So, how did I make it all the way up to deck 16? I don't know. And then have the shock going. I tell you what, Jason, I'm a bit of have this yellow streak up down, from outside my right shoulder to outside my left shoulder. I was nervous. I got my stomach up in my throat, and that was on the low bridge the other night. That one this morning, I about panicked going across that, because man, that's a long drop straight down to the water. And I'm glad I did it. It gives me a chance. I can fuss at 2 people. I can fuss at Sue, over the cruise editor of the London Times, because she did one of those things, and I fussed at her about, what in the hell did you do that for? And Johnny Quinlan, who says, oh, you got to go do the bridge of size now. So I can fuss at both of them for doing that. Let's see. Katie's with us. Hey, Katie, good to see you. Jason says, hot every time's getting his nails done. I'm not surprised. He does like a fancy tootsie. Hi, Emily's here. Hello, Chillie and gang, she says. Everybody's saying hi to Emily up here in New York. Do you have to make your own bed, or can the staff go? Oh, no. I don't make my own bed. As soon as I leave in the morning, he's in here and cleans up the room and, takes the empty Diet Coke. Well, they don't have Diet Coke. They have, what the hell is it called here? It's not Diet Coke. It's something similar to that. I can't remember now what it's called. It's terrible. It's not like Diet Coke that I'm used to. That's the diet drink, so that's what I'm using. But yeah, no, Emily, they do all that. Yeah, I don't do that. I got up this morning and worked for a couple hours and got a shower and, got dressed, packed all my stuff up and went to breakfast and came back and worked a while longer. And then it was time to, go find a good place to set up to do the show today. And that's when I started had to run all over the damn place, trying to find a place that had a good signal. And my signal, seemingly to me, is fine here in the room. So there's Robin. They're up there in Pennsylvania. They probably got some snow too coming. There's Lizzie Lou. She's with us. Lizzie Lou and I are going to be sailing together on May 23rd of 2023 from Athens, Greece. Katie says hello to everybody. Katie says, Chillie, what is going to happen when you change ships? Will they help you get off and to your room next cruise? This will be interesting to see how this will go. Make sure you go. Well, I can't answer that yet. I do know that I can take, when I get off of seashore, I take my scooter down to 6, and that's where I pick up the wheelchair. They'll get the scooter back to my cabin. So don't do that much. I'm assuming Divina is going to be the same rules. I mean, it's the same port that, Seashore sailed from. And I'm told that that is not fully an MSC policy, but a Port Miami policy, that they will not allow the scooters to be delivered to curbside. You have to pick them up in your cabin. So nobody will answer the questions. Okay, then get me to my cabin so I can get the scooter with a wheelchair service. It's pretty simple. You can't make a handicapped person walk. That's just not the thing to do. I have so far fallen on deaf ears. Royal Caribbean, on the other hand, I have scheduled the gentleman in charge of all accessibility for all Royal Caribbean ships. He and I are going to sit down and talk about those very issues on the show one day, as soon as I get back home, because we don't want to take a chance on a show of that importance to the handicap community. Don't want to run risk of having funky Wi-Fi. So I will sit down with Ron Pettit, and we're going to talk about those issues. I have not been able to come up with that same person on MSC yet. This afternoon, I have a little time. I'm going, after I process the show today and process the podcast, I'll probably go down and maybe try to pull the guest services manager off to the side and say, okay, we need to talk about how you guys do this and who can I see to try to fix it. So, but yeah, right now, I'm assuming the Divina is going to be the exact same way. The only difference is my appointment time with Divina is like 3 o'clock as opposed to 12. So I'm going to be much later in the day. So that's going to eliminate some of the waiting that I had to do. Although I'm going to be waiting on the front end because check out the hotel is noon. So I might have to do a late checkout at the hotel because it's from the hotel it took maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes counting calling Uber and them getting there and to the port. So, but yeah, we're gonna. I don't know, Katie. I wish I could answer that. At least I know I can't do it because I had to do it this time. Oh, I'll have to compete with you at 5 o'clock. You're doing a live stream at 5 o'clock. Well, now maybe I don't want to do a 5 o'clock, Jason. I don't want to compete with you. Maybe we'll do 4 o'clock. All right. If you're doing a live stream at 5 o'clock, I will try to. I don't want to do it after because there's a show tonight. I'm going to go to another show. All right. I'll shoot with 4 o'clock, Jason. I'll try to get it together and do a live stream about 4 o'clock today and promote that. What's your next cruise, Chillie? I do the Divina on Sunday, again Saturday on Seashore, and do the Divina 7 days on Sunday. Exact same itinerary that Seashore had this week. And then I go home for a couple weeks, and then I do Meraviglia out of Port Canaveral. So, which I'll be with Lisbeth. Emily says the Olympic opening starts tomorrow night. Okay. Michael says Eastern on his. Yeah, that's the week after. There's the Eastern Caribbean. Yeah, unfortunately, the itineraries having to go back to back. I didn't care. I just wanted to do the ship. So, and it was a really good bargain. One of the main reasons that I booked the MSC, other than I've wanted to do an MSC for a long time. And one of the main reasons is because they had no add-on for solo, no single supplement at all. Now, that's not all the time, folks, but I happened to catch all 3 of the ships sailing from the U.S. with no supplement. Now, I was not as lucky on the inaugural coming up of the new one in December. I paid 50% add-on for that, but I have the price guarantee, so that if they drop the price, I can jump on the new price. So, it says they're having a mild 40s rainy day today, tomorrow an ice storm. Yeah, I've heard that. Did you get the drink package on MSC? I have the Plus, which covers everything, and that was included, so I didn't actually pay for it. That was part of the package I had, because normally I don't buy drink packages. I might have to rethink that now, because I'm drinking more. I mean, yeah, I usually do my Bloody Mary in the morning, and maybe I'll have one of my cocktails in the afternoon or in the evening. But MSC has my brand of bourbon, so I'm going to drink more because they got my Elijah Craig. And then I had made the mistake of doing the silly Brandy Alexander thing, and I fell in love with that. I don't think I've had a pina colada yet on this cruise, and that's something I always do at least once, is a pina colada. So, yeah, but I do have a drink package on this one, so it's, other than the first couple drinks I had, which I didn't realize how it worked. Yes, everything's covered, including my Elijah Craig. That's part of the drinks package, which is awesome for me. But they all have been covered by the drinks package. My Bloody Marys are covered by the drinks package. My Diet Cokes are covered by the drinks package. Those big ass bottles of water are covered by the drinks package. So, yeah. Jason says, I think you got the vegetable package. Absolutely. Got to keep those vegetable levels up. That's my fact. Keep the vegetable levels up. I am doing it. I got a charcoal pizza. Normally at midnight buffet. No, I haven't. Me and midnight ain't gonna happen, hon. I can't last that long. When I got back to my cabin the other night when I did the show, and then stopped for a nightcap after it was over with, and it was like 10 o'clock when I got back to my cabin, and that is late for me, Lizzie. That's really late for me anymore. My life has definitely changed from the way it used to be. I'll tell you. Holy cow, has it changed? No carrot cake for Emily? Oh, no, I gotta have. I'll go ahead and get some carrot cake tonight somewhere. I'll find someplace. I'm looking to try biscuit and gravy on Wonder of the Seas. Never had them. Well, I mean, as a Southern boy, I mean, that's a staple for us. I mean, I love to have biscuits and gravy for breakfast. Hell, even the biscuits and gravy at McDonald's isn't bad. I mean, it's not like you make biscuits and gravy, real Southern style of doing it. But that's not bad. Hardee's has got biscuits and gravy. Another fast food joint, but they're okay. They're not the best in the world. McDonald's actually has a pretty respectable flavor of biscuits and gravy. And their biscuits are good. And of course, Hardee's biscuits are excellent. But anyway, so good luck on Wonders of the Seas. I have no idea if they have biscuits and gravy or not. I've been on that ship. I did not see biscuits and gravy on Freedom of the Seas. But then that's not something I look for on a cruise. Usually, I mean, I look for my eggs Benedict and lox and bagel, and the regular, scrambled eggs from the buffet and sausage, bacon, all that stuff. So, do you think you will have broadcast problem on the Vina? Is not a smart ship. Not sure exactly what smart ship means. I don't know. I had heard bad reports on the ship as well, and I have had relatively few problems. Maybe they've switched over to using the satellite system for the Wi-Fi now, which is a little different from some of the other ships use. But I mean, even, I had issues today running around the ship. That could have been weather related as well because it's windy. I don't know, that's technically over my head. Davina, I don't know until I get on there, but if it's anything like this, yeah, it's going to be no problem at all. So, but and I've got a backup plan in place, Michael. If I have wonky signals, I've got John up there in Minnesota that I'll send him my script and he'll get it on the air for me. He's doing my backup for all my traveling now if I need it. So far, so good. He covered me on a couple days on Freedom when I had really had trouble with the signal. But so far on Seaside, where I thought I would have trouble, we haven't. Even like today, I thought I was going to have trouble. I was figuring on getting back to my cabin here in my stateroom and sending the script to John, even though I hadn't heard from him this morning. And the signal's been perfectly good to me. $4 p.m. and I'm still awake. Yep, that's what it's going to be. 4 p.m. I'll do a live stream this afternoon from someplace. I don't know. I'll find someplace to do something just to chat if anything happens today during the day. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up. If you're new to this channel, again, welcome to this. We're picking up some new folks. It's great to see. We do travel and cruise industry news every day at 11 o'clock, Monday through Saturday. Then on Sunday, got a couple shows. I do the Cruise Amigos with John in Minnesota and Martin over there in Manchester, England. And I do a show with Pete and Allison on Cruises for Solos, which comes out of London. So I'm on this. I'm doing something every day from someplace. I'm someplace in the world. So feel free to subscribe to this channel. As always, we appreciate the thumbs up. Hit the bell notification so you'll know when I go live or when videos are posted. And as always, folks, stay safe. Wear your masks. If you're not vaccinated or boosted, then go do it. You need to do it. So, here's a question. I'll pop in. Kevin Chase, do you know if they give you more than one towel for the pools? I have 2 towels, and then they have an exchange at the pool. So if you got a wet towel, you can drop by and exchange. But I have two towels that they gave me for the pool. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up, guys. As always, have a terrific day. I'll see everybody back here. Well, I'll see everybody at 4 o'clock this afternoon for a live stream. And then I'll see you back here at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning for Travel Cruise Industry News. For now, this is the old fat travel guy. You guys have a fabulous day. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, chilly chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.